Are you crazy? You got what you wanted. You pulled Freddy out. Now he's fighting Jason. Come on. What more do you want?
He killed my mother, Will. It was Freddy. My dad covered it up to protect me. He didn't do it. Look, he has taken everything from us. He has ruined both of our pasts. And I am not leaving until I see him die.
Hello and welcome to Too Old for This Shite. On this week's show we're going to be discussing the Oscar award-winning movie Freddy vs. Jason. The amazing movie that is Freddy vs. Jason. And I do quite like this movie. I know you particularly don't, and a lot of people don't really like it.
It's not that I don't like it. It's fun. It's great if I want to feel like I'm back in the early 2000s again, and it's great for nostalgia and kind of like, oh look, I'm wearing low-rise jeans and like feeling like I'm in a new metal rave again. But apart from that, it's a lot cheesy, I suppose.
But it's meant to be. Like I do like
I know it's not meant to be like highbrow horror.
Yeah, it's
like
an A24 movie. But I can get why people don't like. But at the same point, there's part of me that thinks, I've listened to other podcasts with people basically just reaming it open, and they're like, oh no, it's not loyal to any of the franchises and stuff. But I think people kind of forget that by the time this movie came out, both franchises were pretty much fucking dead because they were after having a series of pretty bad films behind it, which I think were okay films as well, because I kind of grew up with these as being like straight to video things. Alright, if you look at, say, first Friday the 13th, I think is very serious, and you have the bones of Freddy there. Same with the first Friday the 13th. Well, Jason isn't in the first Friday the 13th, so say Friday the 13th part 2, where they have the bones of Jason. Well, Jason took a long time, but by the time he becomes the guy in the hockey mask, it's nearly a parody of itself. It's, I can't remember the one that had Corey Feldman in it, but after that it kind of got very much like, oh, Jason's going to kill people. Like Jason Lives, I think, is that part 6? That's one of my favourite Friday the 13th movies, because it's just straight up fucking stupid. You know, it is just like, it's Jason all that people want is to watch Jason kill people. You know,
nice slasher.
Yeah, and with Friday, or fucking hell, my brain, with Nightmare on Elm Street, you have all that people really want to see is Freddy
just slashing
killing
people.
teenagers, and fucking with them and making quips and stuff. And I've seen people go, oh well, it's like, if you don't like this movie or some of the other ones, I think you're taking fucking both franchises a little bit too seriously. And you haven't actually seen the majority of the movies in them. Like from fucking part 2, Freddy just turns in, or it's my brain. I keep getting, why am I getting both of them mixed up? But with part 2, it does keep getting like a little bit sillier compared to the first one. In A Nightmare on Elm Street things.
Yes.
I think for me, part 3 is my favourite Dream Warriors out of a lot of them. And I kind of have a soft spot for part 6, which was seen as the thing that killed the franchise completely. But that's how I was a kid when they came out. I think I was 4 or 5 when the first Nightmare on Elm Street came out.
Was your responsible parents letting you watch that?
Yeah, I saw it in the cinema.
Yeah.
So it's not just like my parents that failed me, it was my sister that brought me to see it. The 2 old women that ran the
cinema.
Yeah, and I've told this story millions of times to you, but they let me in to see it, but they would not allow me have ready salted crisps because I was too young.
Salt is bad for children, yes.
Yeah,
But go in and see the Dream
Yeah,
Team.
it's like, oh yeah, go in and knock yourself out. And it was a late show as well, so I think it was like 11:30 or 11 o'clock.
What was your sister doing bringing you out at that hour?
I really wanted to see it. I kept seeing the trailers for it. And I was like obsessed with the trailers for it. I don't know why it didn't scare me.
Could you not brought you out to the 8 o'clock show?
No, I wanted to go and see the late night one.
Okay.
Yeah, I really...
Well, actually, I know the type of kid you were, and I know how you would have just bullied your poor sister into bringing you to the late show.
I think they might have went to the pub beforehand, her and like what would have been her husband to be...
Yes, her boyfriend.
Yeah, like I'm fairly sure Yeah, they were probably at the pub beforehand because like she had to have like my sister
So
was
double
great.
responsible then.
Yeah, she used to bring me to cinema like every week, but she used to fall asleep in the cinema quite a lot during the day.
Ah, yes.
And bizarrely, she stayed awake for
all of this.
For this, yeah.
She's probably petrified watching it.
No, I don't. I actually no. She wouldn't have been. I don't think she'd get bothered by horror movies at all. I don't think she has any emotions. But yeah, the Jason versus Freddy. So you were not really a
No,
fan.
Again, it's one of these films that's great to watch on a Friday night with a few beers and stuff like that, because it's a movie that like Freddy ends up being proper like scary Terry.
Yeah.
Because like it's just like
Bitch.
welcome to hell, bitch.
Yeah.
And it's just constantly like he just calls everyone bitch.
Would you like sugar on that? Yeah, I want sugar on my frappuccino, bitch.
Yeah, it's just fucking bananas.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
But it's meant to be. I think like we were looking at a video before we came in to record a podcast, and they were talking about all the different, like it was in development hell for years.
I think that was because there wasn't New Line waiting to try and buy the rights.
No,
to
they
it.
got the rights for it. Friday the 13th moved over to New Line after Part 8, which was I think it was Part 8 with Jason Takes Manhattan, and then like Jason Goes to Hell was made with New Line, and so they were I think there was like 15 different scripts or something ridiculous like that over it. Everyone from David Goyer, a bunch of people that I don't know their names, but it was like when we're good. They were
done your research here.
Yes, but we just looked at the video. Yeah, no, it seemed to be. None of them really had the bones of what this movie is. A lot of it seemed to be based on like Freddy cults and this whole thing that was like, oh, Freddy and Jason went back. They had it was Freddy was responsible for Jason dying at Camp Crystal Lake. You know, all this kind of stuff. Where it's nearly like obvious things. And then Ronnie Yu came in, who is the director of the movie, and he would have done a Child's Play movie beforehand, which was really popular and kind of booted the franchise off again. Into a more cartoony fucking, I suppose, 2000s vibe with it, like what he did with this movie, but he somehow just kind of went for, like what they should have done, which just makes sense. Don't overcomplicate it. It's fucking Jason versus Freddy. Don't have it, because a lot of the other movie scripts had this whole thing where they weren't real. They were trying to go meta on it, I suppose, dive into that Scream thing. Yeah. Or a New Nightmare where they were like, oh yeah. But they were just like, no, we're following up the sequels. Everything that happened has happened already. It's not a reboot. Yeah. It's a whole thing. Freddy keeps getting, it's the same with any of those movies. Jason keeps getting killed, he comes back. Freddy keeps getting killed, he comes back. And this is it. They come back. But Freddy's way come back this time is by utilising Jason to kill people in, they call it Springwood. I always thought it was fucking Springfield, but I could be wrong. My mind could be one of those.
Yeah, you could have been one of the kids that was like
on Hypnocell.
Yeah. One of the that cracked me up something fierce as well. There was like the kids were looking at like this huge big advert for Hypnocell.
Oh yeah.
And like the big thing was like suppresses
they're
dreams,
reading it out,
and they're reading it really slowly, and they're like, Hypnocell, I wonder what it does. And it's like in big letters like suppresses dreams, and the one's like, oh my god, it suppresses dreams. And it's like, fucking way to go, the slow
as
readers.
well, I think apparently that was the script got a rewrite by David Goyer beforehand, where he kept, because the studio were worried people couldn't follow what was good. Like, I mean, if you can't follow what's going on in a there was maybe
there's a little hope for you,
maybe you shouldn't be doing anything. Yes. But so apparently he kept putting exposition in with characters explaining everything that was going on, and you can see that with it. Even there's things like, even at the very start of it, where Freddy's like talking to the audience, where he's like, after this happened and that happened and this, I'm going to come back, and oh yeah, Jason's going to do this and do that, and you're like, who are you talking to? Why?
But I suppose as well, it does kind of, maybe it does help a little bit as well, because you wonder why all the adults are being like real secretive and hush hush. So I suppose it's like they're trying to bury the whole thing. So
they say it at the very start. There's no mystery to it. I think you just missed it.
Maybe I did.
It's one of the first things that happens. The cop turns around to another cop, And the basic story is, right, Freddy gets Jason to go, and he brings him back from the dead by impersonating his dead mother and saying, oh, go and kill those kids in fucking Springwood. So people get to the point where they think it's Freddy Krueger doing it, and the memory of Freddy Krueger will come back because people have forgotten about him. Well, the kids have forgotten about him.
And why have they forgotten about him?
Because the sheriff and all that, they hid it from the last movie. They don't want, because they know that Freddy can only exist if people believe in him.
Yeah, and if they're scared
So,
of him.
and they're scared of him. So Freddy's trying to bring it back, but Jason hangs around and he keeps killing people, and Freddy's like, they're my kids, bitch.
Yes, but there were some of the kids that would have known of Freddy from the previous one have been locked up in a mental asylum as well. And
the same one from part 3.
Yes,
yeah.
And they've been locked away, and they're not out of any contact with anyone as well. So
they can't talk.
They're
about
like
it.
the repressed trauma.
Yeah, they're told, all those thoughts that you were having were like, it's just because you're insane, and they're given a stroke hypnosil, which stops them from sleeping. So Freddy can't invade their dreams.
Well, they can sleep, but they can't dream. Yeah.
Yeah, stop them dream. Yeah, so that's the whole. The hypnosil should have been a bigger part of it, really.
Well, it was a bit, I suppose, really.
Yeah, well, they break into the institute to get hypnosil.
Yeah, to try and stop everyone from dreaming,
But Freddy possesses a guy and makes him dump it all down the drain.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, so like the whole thing of hypnosil is there's only
goes nowhere. Yeah.
There's only 2 packs of it.
Yeah, for the whole asylum,
But it's like I was saying, I like it. It does exactly. The main draw to it, obviously, is Freddy versus Jason, and there is, I'd say, maybe the last half an hour is them hammering the shit out of each other.
Yeah,
it's.
But that's I think it's the beauty of it, is like a kind of, I suppose it would have spawned all the like sort of like, you know, the fucking Godzilla versus King Kong.
Yeah, it's like who would win.
You know, that is it's like the celebrity deathmatch, I suppose, back in, again, that would have been around the 90s, 2000s. It's
a fucking Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, it's like fucking, let's see your 2 big ones. Who would win in a fight to the death, Batman or Superman?
And like, apparently the whole thing was that Ronnie Yu didn't really care too much about the script or the acting in it, which you can kind of see, because there's some actual good actors in it, but the acting is pretty abysmal in it. And yeah, but the visuals are really good. Like, I mean, the whole thing with Freddy and Jason is fucking brilliant. Like, when they do fight, Robert Englund plays nearly a meaner version of Freddy, I think it is. One of the meanest versions, probably since the first one.
Mean and very, at the same time,
paedophilic.
Yes, and very camp as well. And then very, I don't know. Like,
he's very kind of, you know, he's, like, even it starts off with, like, he's just sleazy when he's killing the kid. Like, it's a young child at the start. They obviously don't show him killing it, but you know,
he's enjoying killing the kids.
Yeah, there's a lot of sexual kind of vibes to it, where it's
actually, there was one really horrific bit as well, where the main fucking the last girl kind of a thing, you know, her dad is basically trying to keep her safe and all this kind of stuff. And Freddy invades her dreams, and it's like her dad then, and he basically like, give Daddy a bit of a kiss. Yeah. And like fucking her father, like in the dream, starts like fucking sticking his tongue down her throat, and it's just really uncomfortable, horrible, Daddy, and it's just like you're cringing watching, just going.
But see, I think that's where they got Freddy right, because like in a lot of the later movies with Nightmare on Elm Street, it was Freddy was just like a Looney Tune character, and it was nearly forgotten that it was like, oh, he may have killed these kids, and like even with the remake, what they were doing with the remake was they were going to have this whole thing where he didn't actually kill the kids. He got killed in the wrong, and that's why he was coming back trying to get revenge on all these. Stuff, which I think would have been a quite good thing for the remake, but they decided, no, we won't go with that. We'll just hint at that and then just, no, this guy's a horrible paedophile. Or no, I think he was just a child murderer in the remake, wasn't he? Yeah, and like, they kind of forgot that in the first Nightmare on Elm Street, it was like, he was a paedophile. And then,
well, I would say that as well. You're saying, he was actually a bit Looney Tunes in this as well. There's a scene in the fucking the old warehouse factory thing where he started like going. It was like a ping pong ball machine. Yeah, and he was bouncing around. And
No, I think like this movie, it's very fucking. But like he's actual. There was just an evil vibe off.
Oh yeah, there was.
With it, but this is like pure Looney Tunes. This is the fucking Celebrity Deathmatch. I think is a really good description of it.
That's
like,
Celebrity Deathmatch would have been big at that stage, and it's like who will win? You know, all of that kind of stuff.
And the whole thing is because, like, I suppose Jason comes off as being more of a good guy in it, but Jason kills way more people than Freddy does in this.
That's it, yeah.
But it's that whole thing where you kind of like, they show Jason as a child numerous times in it, and I think that kind of preys on your thing. It's like with Frankenstein, where you kind of go, Frankenstein, you don't really know what he's doing. He's got, like, you know.
That's I think Freddy, he became a monster because he chose to become a monster.
Yeah.
He killed other people out of pure sadism, whereas if you look at fucking Jason, he was just a kid who was like a bit unusual and a bit of a kind of an outcast, and it was other kids drowned him. Yeah. And like fucking, that's what turned him into the monster. He just wanted his revenge on people who fucking basically drowned him. Like, you know?
Well, you see, it was the whole thing that in the. Have you ever seen the first couple of Friday the 13th? Yeah, the first one, it was like the mother was going out getting it, but there was like Jason. You thought Jason was dead, and then in the second one, it's like. Yeah, Jason. Doing the murders, like. But it's...
Because that's, I suppose, as well, that's the difference between the two of them as well. Like, Freddy Krueger is sort of, he kind of like tiptoes through your nightmares, and he's kind of like manipulating Jason, and he's manipulating the kids, and he's like, that's his shtick. He's like a manipulator, and he kind of tries to turn people to his own advantage. Whereas Jason just kind of like, he just plods along fucking killing people, like, you know what I mean? It's like, he doesn't actually, there's no forward thought or anything like that. He's just plodding along, and if someone gets in his way, he'll slash him to death.
Well, Freddy's a demon. And like, he's a dream demon. I don't think they ever really get into it.
Every time somebody says that, like fucking having my head is like out of fucking Wayne's World.
I knew instantly you're like Dreamweaver,
demon.
But
anyway, sorry.
Yeah, he's like, I suppose canonically, because in like Wes Craven's A New Nightmare, which they don't have, like, that's not part of this universe. He is like, he's a demon thing, and I suppose he's referred to as a dream demon, I think, throughout, and in different movies. Whereas like Jason is apparently a deadite. Because there was talk of doing a scene, and I think they might have. There was a comic book where it was Freddy versus Jason versus Ash. And they might have all been. I don't know. And then there was meant to be a Hellraiser one as well, whereas like Pinhead
this
versus.
is just like fucking a proper celebrity deathmatch.
Oh, there was going to be a ton of stuff, and they did some of them in comics. I think it was Boom Studio or Dynamite. I think it was probably Boom Studio that did it. But there was a load of them, like, because the Evil Dead comics, they're still running now, and they're still going. They're very popular. Like, I think there was even a crossover with Marvel Zombies with those.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Of course you didn't, bitch. But yeah, as I was saying, you could say that Jason is like the good one in it, but he's not, because
he's not.
The kill count with Jason, and why you watch it,
it's horrific.
Jason kind of dominates the first part of the movie, because when he does go on the killing spree, he just fucking kills everyone. Yeah,
he's like cutting fucking people in half, and cutting heads open, and it's horrendous.
And they go with it, like, at first it's like, people getting killed on their own, and then it goes into where he goes to a rave and just murders fucking
swathes of people.
Yeah. And I think that scene
is actually very
that's
cool
amazing.
As well.
Like
he kind of there's fucking two lads in there getting stoned, sort of a bit away from the rave, and one of them sort of has this like stoner logic of like, I'll spray some drink on him and like fucking flick a match at him kind of a thing, and he sets him on fire. And sure, Jason just starts walking towards him, and he just sets the whole cornfield on fire.
And it's like a real person on fire.
Yeah,
it's not proper CGI.
It's not special. It's practical special effects, I suppose, but it's proper fire suit, like, and somebody just walking along on fire.
It's really cool to see, because you don't see it too much nowadays. Whereas like, not that it was like very common, but.
No, it wasn't. Like, I mean, it actually was a big thing in the 80s, doing the fucking the fire walking stunts.
Well, I think there nearly seems to be a competition going on in the 80s between stuntsmen, whereas like who can hold the record for doing this,
before,
or the biggest jump, and and like, this is fucking really impressive.
Looking,
and it does just look cool.
And that's the thing as well. I don't know, like, it sounds terrible, but like at the time, obviously, 2003, when we watched in 2003, it was just like real life. I don't mean like the walking through a cornfield on fire, but looking at it now, obviously, it's like huge nostalgia, because it's like it's the music and
It's
it's the
the
clothes
jeans,
and
the
it's
clothes,
the vibe
yeah.
and everything. And it's even like looking at the way people were sitting and dancing and talking. Yeah, I don't get that nowadays.
No, I don't know.
And like it was kind of pre like fucking internet in your pocket and your mobile phone and all the rest, because when she starts thinking, she's like, oh my god, what's the name they said? And she's like running through the police station trying to figure it out rather than just like pulling up her phone and Googling it kind of a thing. You know, it's all this sort of early 2000s kind of like stuff that, I don't know, it just, you know, the house parties and everything. It's just, you don't
Well,
get
as
it
well with
nowadays.
Kelly Rowland in it.
Yeah.
That would have been at the height of Destiny's Child's fame.
That's
Well,
what
would
I-
it probably, I imagine it's probably when Destiny's Child was
just kinda
finished.
kicking-
Like,
yeah.
would have been, I don't know. But like Kelly Rowland, there's a bit that's apparently ad-libbed in it. I'm not going to say the words, but like there's like, I think when people talk about problematic bits, and that's one of the problematic bits
she
where
calls, she calls him a few names.
yeah, she calls Freddy the F word. And it is a bit like, what? Like even back then it just felt.
Yeah, it kind of takes you out of the film, because now, as I said, it was like the early 2000s and people are still being... It was all the old playground slurs, and it was just...
But it
people
was
just got called that the whole time.
It was just so weird for her.
Yeah, just out of nowhere.
Saying it was just very strange. But Kelly Rowland is all right in it, I think. It's Monica Keena is the main actress in it who plays Laurie. The only thing that I can remember her ever being in was Undeclared, which I really liked. But apparently she was in Dawson's Creek as
but
well.
that is like, there's a big bang of Dawson's Creek off this as well. It's that
God,
whole,
yeah.
you know, sort of like teenagers. But having said that, a much better soundtrack, because like we were going through it and it's just like, it's like you basically went into a new metal shop and just basically fucking fell through all the rails of fucking albums. And it's like, what do we have in the soundtrack? Oh, we'll throw this on, and then we'll have this, and then we'll have this.
Oh my god, she was in The Devil's Advocate as well. But well, it's the soundtrack. I think it's one of the weaker ones.
It is, but it's very much of its time. Do you know what I mean?
It is, well, like it's Spineshank, Killswitch, Engage,
Mushroom Head,
it's,
Man 5000.
it's a lot of like say
tier 2.
of the new metal bands. With it, there's not like All in Flames,
Well, it was In
or Lamb
Flames,
of God.
and Typo Negative.
Yeah.
You have a few sort of like Sepultura with Mike Patton. You have a few sort of like heavy hitters, and then you have the sort of the tier 2 as such. As you call it. But it was like every time another song came on, it's like you're kind of going, what? Who was that?
Yeah,
It sounds so familiar.
Unfortunately, you can only hear him in the background.
Yeah.
A lot, like very, very, like there was one point where, oh jeez, I can't do it. It was something fucking incidental was going on, but I was like, is that fucking Typo Negative in the background?
Yeah.
And you know, but with the cast as well, Catherine Isabel was like the friend that she gets killed fairly early in it.
Yeah.
She was like, there was like great things were like planned for her. I don't know what happened with her career exactly, but she was like fucking,
Well, she was Ginger Snaps.
Ginger
wasn't she?
Snaps, yeah. With it, but she doesn't seem to have done. Well, she's still acting like, but she, you know,
Nothing huge.
the career that
episodes,
was kind of promised
projected.
for, yeah.
What about Lachlan Munro? I just
Oh yeah, he just seems to have been in
all those kind
everything,
of horror
yeah.
films, yeah. But like with a name like that, you expect him to be like New Zealand or Australia, but I think he's Canadian. Or
He
something,
is Canadian, yeah. He was in Scary Movie,
Yeah.
sure, yeah. But yeah, he's still in stuff. Like he's in Peacemaker and a few bits and pieces. Anyone that's just Google his name and you'll see him and you'll instantly
You'll know who he
he's
is, yeah.
been in everything and anything.
Yeah.
He's been in, and
Do you know his character? It's that whole fucking thing just frustrated me so much. He's like he's one of the cops in this, and he's kind of like he's new in.
oh yeah, he's like, oh, can you tell me what's going on there? Get out!
Yeah,
I'll
they're
fire
like,
you,
"Shut
you
up!"
fucking asshole! I'll lock you up. And
Yeah,
he's like,
we
what?
do things a certain way in this town, and fucking we have this under control. And he's like, yeah, but like it seems like it's a copycat of this murderer called Freddy Krueger. Shut up!
No, Jason
Shut up!
Voorhees. He's like,
But it's like, just tell the man and he'll stop taking around and
Yeah.
he'll probably help you as well. Like, he's a cop as well. And no, they didn't tell him, and he ended up getting electrocuted to fucking death then.
yeah,
as well.
but that was really weird. He just showed up like it was nearly like all they
Yeah,
were in
it
the
was
back of a van. They're in the back of like
No,
a Scooby van.
It was in the asylum. Oh yeah, well that is.
Yeah, and then
they
he
went
just
to the asylum.
appeared in there.
Yeah, and
he
they were
was
like, they were all like, "Oh no, we're in trouble." And he's like, "No, I'm here to help."
Yeah.
You know, and then they went over to the asylum, and of course, fucking Freddy. Was it Freddy? Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, Freddy possessed one of the kids.
Yeah, and then he
The
started,
stoner guy, no, the shaggy type guy, and attacked when Jason came in and started killing them all.
And he just basically stuck his hand in a power bank and grabbed onto Lachlan Munro.
Yeah.
And just electrocuted him to death. And that was it. It was just like this real by the by kind of a death, like after he'd been such a big part up till then.
But there's a lot of that. Even like the ending is very much kind of I don't like on the thing that we saw. They were saying that like Ronnie Yu was just really he only cared about the visuals of it. And you can tell even like when they kill Freddy, like Freddy and Jason are both supposedly dead at the same time, and there is no like after story with the cops even showing up going, "Oh, everyone is safe." It's just the two surviving kids running off, and that's it.
Yeah,
that's just fucking it. Like normally in a lot of those movies, even they might have them hugging or something to kind of go, "Oh my god, are you all right? Are you all right? Are you all right?" Not in this. The only thing that they did was the whole thing where like fucking Jason appears in like his little safe space where he's like storing heads, and he's got Freddy's head which turns to the camera and winks.
Yeah. So it's like does Freddy have the upper not the upper hand, the upper head?
Quit while you're ahead.
But that's the thing as well. Everyone just seems kind of a bit blasé about how horrible things are as well, because a load of the kids, when they get killed out of the rave or whatever, they all just basically they escape, they drive home, and like they kind of go, "Oh, just take me home," and it's kind of like they're all like,
it should be called the cops, and they're like, no,
it's just like I'll just go home and go to bed, and I'll see you all in the morning. It's like night then, and that's it. And it's just they're not
like
worried this murder is not going to
7-foot flaming man with a machete killed like about 20 of your friends.
Yeah, and they're like, "All right, I'll just go home then, go to bed night."
But even at the start, where it starts off with they're in the house and they're like having the party, and the boys show up, and then your man gets killed.
Yeah,
in
folded
the bed.
up fucking backwards in the bed.
And they're like, they all go to school the next day.
Yeah, it's just like, oh well, they're a little bit traumatized, and they're like, "No, just go to school by then."
Yeah,
you know, just and sure, even at the actual rave, fucking what's her name? That poor girl that's like, you know, she's always like smoking and drinking, and
that was Catherine Isabel.
Yeah, I couldn't remember her name there, but like this poor girl, she wanders off and she just passes out.
Oh yeah, the guy's going to
to
basically fucking rape her when she's passed out.
Fucking glow stick guy just goes off over, and he's just like, oh, rubbing his hands. He's like, oh, passed out girl, I'll just fucking rape this unconscious girl kind of a thing, you know. So luckily enough, he gets killed, but unfortunately she does too.
Yeah, Jason stops it, but then he's like, oh, I'll kill her as well.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone dies, you know. But it's a real kind of a throwaway, like, oh, you know, just like fucking drunken rape. It's fine. Yeah. Just, you know, just real kind of like, oh, it's accepted.
But it's that kind of thing where in the Friday the 13th movies, there was always that like a Scream described them like the rules of horror. That like Friday the 13th really is like, it's a morality story where it's like, oh look, the people that go off and sleep with other people, like preteen, premarital sex, you get killed. You're drinking heavily. It's like that's the thing, because it's the same with Halloween. Like for my money as well, I know Halloween has its own subset of fans. I never really liked Halloween. I like Rob Zombie's Halloween, which would put me on the outs with a lot of Halloween fans, because they fucking seem to hate it for some reason. But I think Halloween gets too much. This thing where we're like, oh well, Michael Myers is the face of evil, and like it's like you shouldn't really know what's going on behind him. And it's like in the first fucking movie, you get his whole backstory straight away. It's about him escaping from as an adult. There's no kind of backstory, so to say, other than kind of like, oh, he killed his sister or mother or whoever when he was a fucking child, because he's been locked up in an institute for fucking most of his life. So like Rob Zombie did the exact same thing. It's like with the Halloween films, it should be just about the kills. Like I think some of them, the other one that, you know, the last set of Halloween movies, there was like, oh, fucking what's his name? Oh god, but I can't remember. But like the third one, it might have been Halloween Kills or Halloween Ends, I think it was called. I really liked that out of those three movies. I didn't like the second one. I didn't particularly like the first one. But I liked that one where it was like, oh, they're doing this whole thing where they're exploring this whole idea of evil and how evil can exist. And it's like, maybe there's like this evil force in Michael Myers that goes into this other guy who's got a shitty life. And, you know, this is maybe how it's transmitted. And people hate it because they always talk about that they want Halloween to be something more than it actually is. Halloween is just a slasher movie.
Yeah.
It's in the same league as Friday the 13th. However, I think Friday the 13th generally is self-aware of what it is and doesn't try to be anything other than it kind of leans into it.
Halloween was probably the first, wasn't it, back in the 70s?
Yeah, you'd have some people that to say,
mainstream.
no, it was Black Christmas.
Well, I
But
know, yeah,
I
but
think
it was the first kind of mainstream one with Jamie Lee Curtis, the original kind of one, you know. And I suppose, I don't know, for my money, that would always be the one that I would think of as being like sort of the one against which other ones are measured, like, you know, it's just, you know, sort of it's the iconic music and all the rest.
Oh yeah,
you know,
I'm not saying, like, I like the first Halloween.
Yeah.
And I like Halloween 3, and I like, but it's, I'm on about the way people perceive Halloween, and it's like, Jesus Christ, like me, but it's, I like the whole, this is what I always liked about Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th. They leaned into the 80s and the 90s, and with this they lean into the 2000s because they essentially know they're making it for teenagers. And it's like, look, we have to appeal to the teenagers at the time, what they're into, try and make it an entertaining movie.
It is. It should be a Friday
fun
night,
and a bit
Saturday
scary,
night movie.
yeah.
It's for teenagers to go on a date and, like, you know, or to go on with your friends and have a laugh and be fucking scared out of your mind and then think like, oh, this is hilarious.
And as well, the characters,
bit of bravado going home then laughing about it.
But the characters are gone to the stage where they're part, especially at this point, where they're just part of kind of popular culture. Everyone knows. People who probably never even saw any of the movies know who Freddy and Jason
Yeah, like,
are.
I mean, fucking, it's gone to like such a stage where you get the generic Halloween costumes where it's like Francis Krieger kind of a thing, and, you know, your local Tesco's where you got your baseball glove with the black and green kind of striping.
Scary Terry, like you were saying in Rick and
that's
Morty.
it, yeah.
But at this stage, well, I'm just saying, you know, you can't, to try and reinvent them as something serious is going to fail. And I think that's why the remake failed. A lot of people nowadays have, say, good things to say about the Friday the 13th reboot that they did with Jared Padalecki. I thought that was just so awful. It was really boring. But then you look at something like the fucking Chainsaw Massacre remake. That's really good.
Yeah.
Because that is just like, right, you just want to see Leatherface fucking kill people and a few other people being horrible bastards.
Horrifically murdered,
Yeah, with it. And it's like, yeah, look, just do what it says. And that's why I like this. And I know I put this in the same, and funnily enough, the same guys that wrote Alien vs Predator had a go with the script for this.
Alright.
But I quite like Alien vs Predator as well. I don't think it's a great movie, but I think it's enjoyable.
Yeah, again, it's pitting two like big fucking heavy hitters. Like, who's going to win? You know, sort of who's going to beat each other out? And
it's totally fucking off canon from the comics or anything else. But at the same point, you kind of go, oh, well, look, it's an hour and a half.
Yeah,
kind of sit down there. Yeah. Oh, Lance
Yeah.
Henriksen is in it. Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
You get to see kind of a couple of predators and aliens fucking smack the heads off each other at the end. That's what's important in life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, I mean, like, fucking Freddy and Jason, it's like, I mean, the end fight goes on for what, good 15 minutes?
A good half an hour, I'd say.
Yeah.
Because
And, like, I
it's
mean,
split. They split it where it's in Freddy's world. When they're, and
that's
then
true, yeah.
kind
Then
of
it
Freddy
comes
gets
out
dragged
into
into the reality,
That's it, yeah.
So they have a lot of mad shit going on in Freddy's world that couldn't happen in reality.
Yeah.
And then in reality, but then again in the reality one, they have the whole thing where Freddy's kind of cutting the tops off of the gas canisters, shooting them
That's
at
what I
Jason.
mean. But it's like, it's so bombastic. It's like it's out on fucking a jetty out over the water, and yet it's fire, it's water, it's dark, it's fucking. There's hands getting cut off. You know, it's like it's everything combined, basically.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's
It's
like there's
very
not
cool,
much more
like-
you could throw into it, really.
Like,
So-
as I keep saying, it's a cool movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's like the acting and the story is not the reason why.
Well, I mean, if you wanted to, you could probably go down a little wormhole where you could try and make it a little bit more highbrow than it probably purports to be, where you have the dream world and the intellect coming up against kind of the brute sort of, you know, the lizard brain kind of a thing, you know?
You could, but what's the point?
Sure, yeah.
You know, and
It's really good if you want to intellectualise the whole thing.
it really is, and like I mean, with Ronnie Yu's past, like he's, I presume he's Chinese, isn't he?
Oh, that's very, very...
No, but because I know them, the movies that he's done. No, he's Hong Kong.
Yes, I told you. That's very...
But it's like he's done a lot of kind of kung fu horror movies. Mm-hmm. I suppose is from what I can gather, looking at some of the, like the Bride with the White Hair.
That mightn't be Hong Kong at all. Or
what?
I was reading there. That mightn't be kung fu at all.
Yeah, it is.
The Wu-Tang Clan.
An evil cult falls in forbidden love with a killer of the evil cult. Like, look at the trailer for it. But it's what I mean. It's like there's a certain stylistic thing that goes along with some of those movies, where it's like, look, fucking plot. Just get to the fighting parts. Get to it, and like Ronnie, I think it looks great. I keep saying it, but it is. It's movies are a visual medium.
Yeah.
Not saying that you can't have all the different things with it, because when all those different parts come together, that's when you have
something
like
special.
Special, yeah. Yes. But sometimes you just need to know your lane.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes popcorn movies are good.
Yeah, they are. Which I think is missing a lot of the time now. Like the Marvel movies could have been just pop, but then it's like, oh my god, why do I have to look at 15 TV shows and fucking kind of like, I have to look at all the other movies too?
Yeah, just fucking, can they not be standalone with the odd nod to each other? Why do you have to link them all in so intricately? Just
have Captain America punching someone in the head until their skull explodes into tiny little pieces. I can't remember his name. Remember there was a fucking fella, he used to do comic books, but he used to change the captions in them years ago, and he did it I remember with a Captain America comic, and it was just like that. He was insane. He was like after taking acid, and he was just going around attacking all these random people. But it was like the original panels from fucking Jack Kirby comic, and it's just because of the eyes, the way Jack Kirby drew the eyes, it did look like he was like fucking insane. But
yes.
Freddy versus Jason, don't watch it. It's a piece of shit.
No, if you really want to just like bring yourself back to the early millennium. 2000s. Yeah, exactly.
But you know, I was looking at Red Letter Media, and that's why I kind of thought, oh, we'll look at Freddy versus Jason, because they were talking about it. And one of them mentioned, I think they were saying, people always go on about the early 2000s that there was no like style. Like you can look at a movie from the 70s,
very definitive style.
But a lot of people say that this is the whole thing that was like there was like even that horrible slow motion thing where it's like, I don't even know how you describe it. It's like stuttering, like it's not even slow motion.
It's almost like
it's nearly like claymation animation.
Yeah, it's almost like kind of like a shutter on a camera opening and closing kind of a thing. Is it that kind of a thing?
With like slow music too. But like I mean that's very much a thing. It was only when they pointed it out and I was like fucking that was a big thing around that time period. But there's a lot of stuff like with the new metal and there's like the MTV quick shots.
That's very much what it is. It's basically
it's a music video.
It's trying to be a music concert, music video, in film form kind of a thing.
And see, I think that like say cinema, I don't know, I'd have to go back looking at a lot of different things, but kind of like off the top of my head from what I can remember at the time, you had the 80s, which was kind of fun, but there was a lot of serious movies coming near the end of the 80s. Like the start of the 80s I think was nearly trying to get away from the seriousness of the 70s. And then into the 90s you just had like a lot of dumb shit, but then near the end of the 90s you had a lot of really highbrow movies, and then stuff like The Matrix came along which transformed cinema for the time. But you had like Casino and fucking like Goodfellas, and like Martin Scorsese was really say I had all those, and then the 2000s at the start of 2000s people were like, oh, fucking
where do we go from here? It
was just a lot of dumb movies. Well, not dumb, but it was like perceived as dumb. And it was well because like the blockbuster was after near the end of the 90s, like say with Independence Day and all that. So I think you had those kind of running their course at that point. So people might look back at that period, looking at some of the top movies and kind of go, oh, there's not. But like as we've said in other podcasts before, when people are like, oh, they only made good movies or horror movies in the 80s. It's like they didn't. They made really good horror movies the whole time. They make excellent horror movies now. The 90s had a lot of great horror movies. But for some reason people just always like to reflect on, oh, the 80s was the golden age.
I think the 2000s were probably split into maybe two halves, where the early 2000s were these kind of horror movies where they were like big, bombastic, fun, a bit dumb. And then it sort of went back to...
remember you had 28 Days Later as well.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah. It sort of slid back into sort of the grittier, like say the Chainsaw Massacre, the remakes, those kind of remakes.
That's around this time you would have had the remake of Dawn of the Dead coming out, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, I think it started sliding towards that.
It started going into kind of like the torture porn kind of stuff more so than anything for a few years. But and like, I mean, torture porn stuff I think was kind of short-lived as well. It seemed like a lot longer at the time.
Yeah, it was kind of like, oh my god, I'm sick of seeing people horribly fucking brutalised. Like, can you please just go back to like...
But a lot of those movies, they weren't even like good slasher movies. It was
that's what I mean. It was just like, how can we make people fucking vomit in the audience kind of a
and like, I
thing.
mean, the French did it better than most people, I think. Definitely, I think Martyrs is still...
I know Martyrs. What was the other one with the pregnant...
Oh, the Inside. Or the Inside,
Yeah, that was fucking... There were some fairly brutal ones, alright.
Yeah, and there was a lot of them. Switchblade Romance. Yeah, that was really good as well. But the terrible thing about that, because there's a I won't give away the twist, but because there's a big twist at the end of it. Once you see the twist, I kind of felt, I don't really want to look at it again because I know the twist now with it. Whereas, you know, say something like Freddy versus Jason, you can watch it all because it's I want to see Jason on fire killing teenagers.
Exactly, that's it, yeah.
But so I suppose not much else to be said about it.
No, if you're feeling a bit nostalgic for the turn of the millennium, go and watch something like this. Yeah,
definitely. I think for Halloween, this is one of the ideal Halloween movies that you can watch. So, look, if you've gotten this far, thank you very much. Leave a comment somewhere. A nice comment.
Bitch.
And look, come back next week. We'll have more horror stuff. We're going to, like we keep saying, it's spooky season, so there's going to be horror movies every week coming up to Halloween. And then probably in the last week of Halloween we'll cover something like The Secret of Niv or something like that. But yeah, look, take care. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.